Hi, I'm Arvin Castillo and we'll discuss about corporate strategy, mergers and acquisition, strategic alliances. First, let's take a look at chapter case 9. How Buzz Lightyear, Iron Man and Darth Vader joined Mickey's family. So with $45 billion in annual revenues, Disney is the world's largest media company. In recent years, Disney has grown through a number of high-profile acquisitions, and they acquired Pixar in 2006, Marvel in 2009, and Lucasfilm in 2012, which is the creator of Star Wars. So let's now take a closer look at how an alliance with Pixar turned into an acquisition and how Disney then rounded out its brand portfolio with subsequent acquisitions. Pixar started out as a computer hardware company producing high-end graphic display systems. One of its customers is Disney. To demonstrate the graphic display system's capabilities, Pixar produced short computer animated movies. So this picture is the logo of Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. In the beginning though, despite being sophisticated, Pixar's computer hardware was not selling well, and the new venture was hemorrhaging money. In rode not Buzz Lightyear, but Steve Jobs to the rescue. Shortly after being ousted from Apple in 1986, Jobs bought the struggling hardware company for $5 million and founded Pixar Animation Studios, investing another $5 million into the company. The Pixar team then transferred the company into a computer animation film studio to finance and distribute its newly created computer animated movies. Pixar entered a strategic alliance with Disney. Disney's distribution network and its stellar reputation in animated movies were critical complementary assets that Pixar needed to commercialize its new type of films. In turn, Disney was able to rejuvenate its floundering product lineup, retaining the rights to the newly created Pixar characters and to any sequels. Pixar became successful beyond imagination as it rolled out on one blockbuster after another. And an example is the Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, A Bug's Life, Monster Inc., Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles, grossing several billions of dollars, as you see in the picture. Given Pixar's huge success and Disney's abysmal performance with its own releases during this time, the bargaining power in the alliance shifted dramatically. Renegotiations of the Pixar-Disney alliance broke down altogether in 2004, reportedly because of the personality conflicts between Steve Jobs and then the Disney chairman and CEO Michael Eisner. After Eisner left Disney in the fall of 2005, Disney acquired Pixar for $7.4 billion. The success of the alliance demonstrated that the two entities' complementary assets matched and gave Disney an inside perspective on the value of Pixar's core competencies in the creation of computer animated feature. In 2009, Disney turned to acquisitions again in order to address the problem of poor performance in its internal movie creation efforts. The acquisition of Marvel Entertainment for $4 billion added Spider-Man, Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, and the Captain America to its lineup of characters. Marvel superheroes grossed a cumulative $14 billion at the box office, with the Avengers bringing in more than $1.5 billion. In 2012, Mickey's newly extended family was joined by Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker when Disney acquired Lucasfilm for over $4 billion. Continued success in movies depends more and more on owning a vast library of valuable content. Using alliances and acquisitions, Disney has amassed an impressive family of superheroes. So this picture shows the superheroes from Marvel, Mickey Mouse, and the characters from Star Wars. Disney is active in a wide array of business activities, from cable and network television stations and movies to amusement parks, cruises, and retailing. It became the world's leading media company to a large extent by pursuing a corporate strategy of related link diversification. This is because some, but not all, of these business activities share some common resources, capabilities, and competencies. As detailed in the chapter case, Disney's executives implemented its corporate strategy through the use of strategic alliances and acquisitions. So next is mergers and acquisition. So a popular vehicle for executing corporate strategy is mergers and acquisitions. Thousands of mergers and acquisitions occur each year, with a cumulative value in the trillions of dollars. Although people sometimes use the terms interchangeably and usually in tandem, mergers and acquisitions are, by definition, distinct from each other. So we will now discuss the difference between a merger and acquisition. So in mergers, it describes the joining of two independent companies to form a combined entity. So in mergers, they are collaborating. Mergers tend to be friendly. Here in mergers, the target firm would like to be acquired. Disney's acquisition of Pixar, for example, was a friendly one, in which both management teams believed that joining the two companies was a good idea. While in acquisition, it describes the purchase or takeover of one company by another. So, the other company will buy the other company. Here, acquisitions can be friendly or unfriendly, just like what happens on Steve Jobs and Michael Eisner. They have personality conflicts which make the other company acquire the other. So, when a target firm does not want to be acquired, the acquisition is considered a hostile takeover. So, in defining mergers and acquisitions, size can matter as well. The combining of two firms are comparable size is often described as merger even though it might in fact be an acquisition. So, for example, mm, the integration of Daimler and Chrysler was pitched as a merger, though in reality Daimler acquired Chrysler and later sold it. After emerging from bankruptcy restructuring, Chrysler is now majority owned by Fiat, an Italian auto manufacturer. In contrast, when large incumbent firms such as the Tata Group, GE, or Microsoft buy startup companies, the transaction is generally described as an acquisition. Although there is distinction between mergers and acquisitions, many observers simply use the umbrella term mergers and acquisitions or M&A. So to cut the story short, here is a simple illustration of a acquisition and a merger. So here in acquisition, the other figure it's the smaller figure. So it makes him acquire it or own the other. While in merger, they are just combining or collaborating as one. So next is merging with competitors. So in contrast to vertical integration, which concerns the number of activities a firm participates in up and down the industry value chain, horizontal integration is the process of merging with a competitor at the same stage of industry value chain. So horizontal integration is the process of merging with competitors leading to industry consolidation. Horizontal integration is a type of corporate strategy that can improve a firm's strategic position in a single industry. It can improve because horizontal integration reduces the risk and threat for a business. And an industry-wide trend toward horizontal integration leads to industry consolidation. The pharmaceutical industry has seen considerable consolidation, with Pfizer merging with Wyeth and Merck and Skering Plumb merging in 2009. So, in the event promotion business, the only remaining segment in the music industry in which revenues are increasing, Live Nation acquired Ticketmaster in 2010. So this picture shows the logo or the brands that is merging in pharmaceutical industry. So there are three main benefits to a horizontal integration strategy. First is reduction in competitive intensity. Second, lower cost. And third, increased differentiation. So we are first going in reduction in competitive intensity. It will reduce the competitive intensity because competitors are threat for a business. And when we merge with them, we are removing this threat and making this an opportunity because instead of competing, we are now uniting. So, looking through the lens of Porter's 5 forces model with a focus on rivalry among competitors, which is introduced in Chapter 3, horizontal integration changes the underlying structure in favor of surviving firms. Excess capacity is taken out of the market and the competition tends to decrease as a consequence of horizontal integration, assuming no new entrants. So, as a whole, the industry structure becomes more consolidated and potentially more profitable. If the surviving firms find themselves in an oligopolistic industry structure and maintaining a focus on non-price competition, the industry can indeed be quite profitable and rivalry would likely decrease among existing firms. So, recent horizontal integration in the US airline industry, for example, provided several benefits to the surviving carriers. By reducing excess capacity, the mergers between Delta and Northwest Airlines in 2008, United Airlines and Continental in 2010, Southwest and AirTran in 2010, and American and US Airways proposed in 2013 but put on hold by the US Department of Justice, lowered competitive intensity in the industry overall. So next is lower costs. Research provides empirical evidence that firms use horizontal integration to lower costs through economies of scale, enhance their economic value creation, and in turn their performance. In industries that have high fixed costs, achieving economies of scale through large output is critical in lowering costs. So, for example, is the dominant pharmaceutical companies such as Pfizer, Roche, and Novartis, for example, maintain large-scale forces who call on doctors and hospitals to promote their products. This specialized sales force often number 10,000 or more, and thus are significant fixed costs to the firms, even though part of their compensation is based on commissions. Maintaining such a large and sophisticated sales force is costly if the firm has only a few drugs it can show to the doctor. As a rule of thumb, if a pharma company does not possess a blockbuster drug that bring in more than $1 billion in annual revenues, it cannot maintain its own sales force. When existing firms such as Pfizer and Wyeth merge, they join their drug pipelines and portfolios of existing drugs. They are likely to have one sales force for the combined portfolio, consequently reducing the size of the sales force and lowering the overall cost of distribution. So the last is increase differentiation. So first, differentiation strategy is an approach business developed by providing customers with something unique, different, and distinct from items their competitors may offer in the marketplace. The main objective of implementing a differentiation is to increase competitive advantage. A business will usually accomplish this by analyzing its strengths and weaknesses, the needs of its customers, and the overall value it can provide. So horizontal integration through M&A or merge and acquisition can help firms strengthen their competitive positions by increasing the differentiation of their product and service offerings. In particular, horizontal integration can do this by filling gaps in a firm's product offering, allowing the combined entity to offer a complete suite of products and services. To enhance its differentiated appeal, for example, Oracle acquired PeopleSoft for $10 billion in 2005. This horizontal integration joined Oracle, the world's leading enterprise software company, whose core competency is in database management systems, with PeopleSoft, a market leader in human resource management systems. This move allowed Oracle to offer its customers a complete suite of enterprise software systems to optimize their entire internal value chain. So overall, mergers and acquisitions teaches us that two is better than one. Two heads can always do better than one head. More heads, more ideas, and more ideas, more success. We can do better things through unity. That's all. Thank you for listening.